Could a child's whisper defy death itself? Your daughter is alive. A homeless black boy reveals a secret that shocks the billionaire. The rain had stopped just hours before the funeral began. The sky, still gray and heavy, seemed to mirror the unbearable weight in Gregory Wellingham's chest. The billionaire, once hailed as a genius venture capitalist, now stood completely still in his custom-tailored dark suit, his hands trembling at his sides. Before him lay the unthinkable, his only child, his 7-year-old daughter, Lily, motionless in an ivory satin-lined casket. Her cream dress was smooth as silk, and a delicate flower crown rested over her golden hair. She looked more like a doll than someone gone. But gone she was, or so they all believed. What if one small voice could unravel a billionaire's grief? Gregory hadn't spoken a word since yesterday, when they brought her back from the hospital. He'd signed the release papers with a hand that barely moved, his face like stone. The doctor's words had echoed endlessly since. I'm sorry. There was nothing we could do. Her heart stopped at 3:17 p.m. Cause of death, sudden arrhythmia due to an undiagnosed defect. But Gregory never accepted it. Not really. Now standing in the Wellingham Estate's private mausoleum, the walls echoing with whispers and restrained sobs, he couldn't stop staring at her face, his knees nearly buckled. Then came the sound, soft, slow footsteps. Everyone turned. A dusty little boy, no older than 6, stepped through the polished marble archway. He was black, barefoot, his skin ashen with dust, and his blue overalls clung to his thin frame. A heart-shaped pendant swung on his chest. He had no jacket, no adult holding his hand, and he didn't belong. But his eyes, those deep, knowing eyes, locked on Lily's body. Gregory's brother stepped forward to intercept. Hey, who let this kid in? This is private. But before anyone could move, the boy walked straight to the casket. He gently placed his tiny hand over Lily's. His fingers trembled as he touched her, as if feeling something no one else could. Gregory moved toward him, startled. Wait, what are you doing? The boy didn't look up. She's not dead, he said. His voice was quiet, but it carried. It cut through every conversation and pulled the oxygen out of the room. The guests gasped. A woman dropped her tissue. The butler stumbled back. Gregory blinked. What? The boy looked up at him this time, locking eyes. She's not dead. Not really. Not yet. Who are you? Someone shouted. Where are your parents? But the boy just stared back at Lily. He didn't move. She's breathing, but you can't see it. Her heart is slow, but it's not gone. Dr. Mason Rudd, the white-haired man with a blue shirt standing behind the crowd, turned pale. He was the one who'd signed the death certificate. That's not possible, he muttered. Do you know him? Gregory asked, stepping closer to the doctor. Dr. Rudd hesitated. No. I've never seen this boy before. But his fingers twitched. His eyes didn't meet Gregory's. The boy reached into his pocket and pulled out something. A tiny, hand-carved wooden whistle, no bigger than a finger. She gave me this, he said, at the fountain 2 days before the school trip. She told me it was magic. Gregory's heart skipped. Lily had told him about the boy with a necklace who carved toys from bottle caps and sticks. He thought she was talking about a classmate. She found me sleeping under the bench, the boy added. She gave me bread. She said she'd tell her daddy to build a house for kids like me one day. Tears welled in Gregory's eyes. But then I saw her collapse at the museum, the boy continued. No one listened. They pushed me away. Gregory's voice cracked. That was you? The boy nodded. They rushed her away, and the old man with white hair, he pointed to Dr. Rudd, he said she was gone. But I touched her hand. She was still warm, and she whispered, just barely. That's enough, Rudd snapped, now sweating. This child is making a scene. Gregory turned sharply. No, Mason. You told me her heart stopped, but you refused a second opinion. You told me to cremate her by morning. She was gone. It was standard protocol. Then why was her body still warm an hour later? Silence. All eyes turned to the coffin. The boy placed the whistle on Lily's chest and closed his eyes. She said she'd come back if someone believed hard enough. Gregory stepped forward slowly, trembling. He looked down at his daughter again and noticed something he hadn't before. A single drop. A tear, maybe? No sweat or breath. He froze. Did she just? Everyone gasped. But before anything more could happen, the boy collapsed beside the casket. Somebody help! Gregory dropped to his knees, panic setting in, and just then, just before everything shattered, a small breeze passed through the open doorway. Lily's flower crown shifted, but her lips moved. Gasps echoed through the marble hall. Gregory didn't move. He couldn't. His heart pounded as he stared at his daughter's face. Her lips had moved. Not once, not imagined, he saw it. And for a man who made billions from logic, data, and reason, nothing in his world could explain what he was now witnessing. He turned to the nearest guest. "Did you see that?" he choked. "Please tell me I'm not going mad." I think a mourner stammered, her eyes wide with fear. Before anyone could respond, Gregory dropped to his knees beside the boy who had collapsed. The child was still breathing, but faintly. Gregory carefully lifted him, holding the frail body in his arms. The boy's skin was hot, his forehead damp. "Get him water, blankets, now!" Gregory barked. The guests, still reeling from shock, sprang into action. The staff rushed to fetch towels and a first aid kit. But Gregory wasn't watching them. His eyes were locked on his daughter. Her chest rose gently, slowly, then again. "She's breathing," he whispered. The billionaire's voice cracked, and this time there was no denying it. The funeral became a frenzy. Someone fainted. Another dropped their glass. But Gregory had no time for the chaos. His daughter was alive. "Call the paramedics now," he roared. "And call someone who's not him." He pointed directly at Dr. Mason Rudd, the white-haired man frozen against the wall, now visibly trembling. Dr. Rudd's voice was barely audible. "Gregory, I swear she was gone. She had no vitals, no reaction to light, no pulse." "You signed her death certificate," Gregory's voice boomed. "You told me to cremate her this morning. My baby girl." "I was following protocol," Mason stammered. Her vitals were unreadable. "We were under pressure. Beds needed clearing." Gregory's blood ran cold. He knew exactly what that meant. The hospital had been overcrowded. He remembered the whispers of a private meeting among board members about bed rotation and prioritizing resources. Mason had rushed her through the system like she was a file, not a child. "You nearly buried her alive," Gregory growled. The boy stirred in his arms, whispering weakly, "The dream. I saw her. She wasn't ready. I just needed to bring her back." Gregory looked down at him. "What's your name?" The boy blinked. "Jace." "How did you know?" Gregory asked, his voice trembling. "How did you know she wasn't really gone?" Jace weakly pointed to his pendant, the heart-shaped locket. "She gave it to me when I was cold. Said it would protect me. I prayed with it last night and saw her alone, crying, begging for someone to hear." Gregory couldn't hold back the tears anymore. This boy, this dusty homeless child, had seen what all the doctors, all the machines, all the wealth and knowledge in the world hadn't. The ambulance arrived within minutes. Paramedics rushed in, stunned, to find the deceased child now with a pulse and warmth in her skin. Lily was carefully transferred to the stretcher, and Jace was placed on another beside her. At the hospital, a team of specialists discovered that Lily had suffered from Lazarus syndrome, a rare condition where someone appears clinically dead, but later regains circulation without intervention. The phenomenon is so rare many doctors dismiss it as impossible, but it was real, and if not for Jace, she would have been buried alive. Later that evening, Gregory sat by Lily's bedside. Her fingers twitched again. Her eyes fluttered open. Daddy,